As the summer heats up and we get closer to a public launch for Ultra, I thought that it was about time that we bring Nicolas and David back onto the show. We'll be covering the effect of the bear market on the project, how the launch of the Uniq Marketplace went, and an update on the stuff we've been building for our community of gamers and developers. As always, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps the project a lot. Let's get to it. Hi guys, welcome back.
Hey everybody.
Everyone.
Hello everyone.
So it's kind of the elephant in the room, and I think we should start with that. What's the effect of the down cycle on Ultra? Does the bear market change anything for us?
In terms of finance, not especially. So we had zero exposition, for example, to UST or whatever happened there. So we're good. And generally speaking, Ultra is very traditional in its management, more corporate side, which means we don't have a lot of cryptocurrencies, which are like volatile in general. So we avoid, to put the company at risk. We don't take the upside, we don't take the downside either. So we are sort of bear market resistant, if that's what's happening. And the gamers as well aren't really affected either. The gaming pool of users is there. They still spend the same amount of money, if not more, with the COVID. So yeah, nothing much for us.
It's important to remember that we've been around for 10 years now in the crypto market. Every 2 years or so, there's a major crash that happens. And it's part of the cycle. It happened multiple times in the past, and it will still happen in the future. So we're prepared for that.
I think one of the big advantages that Ultra has as a company is how long-term you guys plan ahead. And part of that has been, of course, that we've been growing the team, and we've actually grown the talent acquisition team to a pretty large size. And we know that hiring is such a key component towards achieving Ultra's goals. So I do just want to say quickly before we move on to talking about the products that I think everybody is really interested in. If you're an experienced developer, if you're in QA, finance, if you work on NFT projects, or you think you have another talent that would benefit Ultra, I think that you should make sure to check out the career page at ultra.io. There's a lot of open positions and we're still hiring. So let's next focus on the products because there's quite a few of them in the pipeline. I wanted to start with the launch of the Uniq Marketplace. So that cycle just finished out. And let's talk about how important it is to test both, like the technical systems, but also the team systems. So we had a few incidents when we launched and they were resolved super quickly because we have a solid on-call methodology that lets us, identify, manage, and resolve problems fast. How did the support and dev teams handle things?
I would say it went pretty smoothly. So the point, obviously, of those beta is also to break, right? So when it breaks, you can actually fix it and see what issue occurred, and also test the whole pipe of problem solving. So we have 3 layers of support for basically any issue that would arise. Various on-call speed as well, so 24/7. So anytime there's a problem anywhere in the world, we can actually fix it. And this has to be really well structured. It's not as simple as it sounds. But yeah, those kind of closed beta are also made to test these, and so far so good. So we're happy that incident occurs, so we can actually test or we can react to it.
What's next for the Uniq Marketplace? Will we be expanding access?
Yes, definitely. In terms of the marketplace, so right now we had the very first iteration, which is just giving more access, and we'll just keep expanding this access to get to the full launch by adding a few features. The idea here is that in the coming weeks, we'll be just ramping up the number of Uniqs, ramping up the number of users, so starting to go to the 1,000 of users, and then open up to the public normally should be by the end of the summer. And the idea that we are testing not only the user side, but also the new features on our end. So for example, we want to be able to add content easily, remove content. Oh, what happened if a token factory is empty? Is there a way to quickly change it, flip one that is more important in the beginning and one least important at the end of the launchpad? So all those kind of features that we also use on the backend that are not visible to the users, and you also want to test them. That's why we have also batches of users added over time.
So in addition to the administration of the NFT marketplace, which Nicolas mentioned, where we can decide what goes where, so that people can see the products that we want to showcase the most. We also are working on the search engine, which will be released soon also to the closed beta users. And the search engine fundamentals have been completed. And it's done in such a way that we can add more and more filters over time. So we start with a simple filter pricing, and we can add additional filters, such as who's the creator, when it was created, the trading volume, this and that. And so the core functionality of this trading engine has been completed. And all the functionalities that go behind are being worked on as well. Because when you do a search, the results that you get are not necessarily very straightforward. And when you do search, you kind of need to guess what the person really wants to find. And this is actually not easy to do. But there are methodologies to achieve that, and the core functionality and the framework for doing that is ready. And so will be tested already by the early developer, the early closed beta users, and then we'll continue to evolve over time as we release the platform to the public.
Now that we have the Uniq Marketplace in a good position, we're looking kind of to position ourselves forward for what we're calling general availability internally. Can you tell us what that actually means?
Yeah, the main difference is right now we are in closed beta. What is in general availability is the application. So today anybody can go on Alpha.io, download the client, which is restricted to only the wallet and data, I believe, so far. And going to GA means that Ultra Games will be fully available to anybody who downloaded the application. So even if you already have it today, Ultra Games will be automatically added to your client. You don't need to do anything for it. It will be just added by default. So which means, yes, it's just anybody can access it at any time. So close beta first. Once we finish it, we open the GA.
We have a few more pieces to put in place before we launch Ultra Games to the public. What's still in the pipeline?
So we have a few things that are being worked on. So we have access to free-to-play games. So right now you can purchase games on Ultra, but you cannot purchase free games. So we'll fix that. So anybody can actually get access to the free games that will be available, free-to-play games. We also do some more work on the DRM, so the digital right management solution.
Because the games can be traded, and they're traded in the form of an NFT, once the game has been traded, it's still actually on your computer, and we need to make sure that the game cannot be played anymore. And so that's the job of the DRM. And so basically the DRM solution is directly linked to the ownership of your NFTs. So as soon as I give you an NFT, then you can download the game, you can play it, and my version doesn't work. But if you give me the NFT back, my game works back. And so that's a part which the DRM technology in itself is working. And now most of the work is about automating the application of these DRMs on games that are published. So right now we can do it manually. But of course, what we want is that as soon as the developer uploads his game, that the DRM is applied automatically and there's no extra work. And so that's the next step for us.
Exactly, and it's a step-by-step process. So having it automatically applied is the last step before we can also tokenize the game. Because obviously, if you tokenize it today, but there is no DRM, that's a bit useless. So people can resell it and keep the game usable. So now once we finish the DRM solution automatically, then we can implement as well the NFT for the games.
What's the status of the development status of the exclusive games?
Yeah, so we're now working with a series of studios, each making their own title. The progress have been fantastic. I think we really selected great teams. Both they're all super experienced, and also they're all super excited by the potential of NFT technology, blockchain technology in general, smart contracts, and so on. So the progress have been really great. What we're doing right now with them, I mean, aside from them making the game, is to start working on the marketing material, because we want to show the games, explain the games to our users, and yeah, so they have been working on this. We're preparing a lot of announcements, one for each game, so that's a lot of work. But it's going really well. And then, generally speaking, in terms of development of the games itself, it's going also very well. So far, they are all on time based on the milestones that we agreed on. So yeah, it's going really cool, and I'm especially excited to announce them because they're very special titles, all of them, and they are also made by very special people. So um, yeah, I'm so looking forward announcing them. So in addition to this, there will be phases where game developers are going to need to test their games. They're all multiplayer games, and they require testing. So there's going to be closed beta phases. There's going to be ways for us to distribute access to them, obviously through NFTs. So keep an eye on that, and yeah, let's organize some gameplay sessions with the people at Ultra, and then some of our fans at Ultra as well. It's gonna be quite an interesting period.
And making sure that our developer ecosystem has access to excellent tooling is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. Our blockchain developer docs and the associated test framework and other tooling is all going out to the first set of devs in the coming weeks or so, which is really an exciting milestone. So I wanted to ask, what would you most like to see developers build on Ultra's networks besides games?
I think there's a lot of exciting things that people can build with our blockchain because there are no transaction fees. So a lot of things that would otherwise not be possible suddenly becomes possible. Um, so a lot of interaction with NFTs, a lot of interaction with FTs. Um, I do think there's also a lot of mini games that will be possible that would be very exciting, with NFTs. I'm also looking forward seeing social network type of experiences, chats, live streams. Um, yeah, so we're already working with a series of teams that are building applications with our tech, but this is now going to be public, so people will get access to all the documentation. They will have access to like the binaries to execute a local blockchain, so you can execute at home or at the office a mini ultra blockchain so that you can develop conveniently, fast, test your smart contracts, write your smart contracts, and then eventually publish them on testnet to then publish them on the mainnet. So all of this is going to be available very, very soon. We've been working a lot on all of that, and so this is a very exciting step for us because it's really going to be the first time where people can be onboarded without us having to be behind them and teach them, okay, this is how it works and so on. So we can safely say that the ecosystem is really going to open when the dev tooling will be released.
It's like that feeling of watching your kid ride away for the first time on a bicycle.
Yeah, exactly. Learning to talk and all of these steps. That's exactly what's going to happen. So it's always awesome to see people create stuff with tools that you made, because you don't know what you're gonna get out of it. Somebody's gonna make stuff that we never thought of, and that's the whole purpose of our app ecosystem. We want the app ecosystem to um, grow value um, to our platform, a little bit like a phone. Used to be just a phone, and then suddenly you have tons of apps, and now you can't get rid of a phone because really your life is in your phone, and there's so many things you use it for. And that's kind of like what we want to do with Ultra. We want you to come for one thing, but then, oh, there's that, and then there's that, and then you come back and you keep using the platform because there's so much functionality and interesting things to do. And so this is kind of like the seed of that. Like out of this tooling framework and documentation will come a lot of exciting experiences and NFTs and whatnot.
Lastly, I'd like to talk about the unannounced DEX. So, a while ago, David talked about how we're working with an unannounced partner to build a decentralized exchange for tokens on Ultra's network. I think we shouldn't name drop yet, but it'd be nice to hear how that's going.
First of all, is we have a really unique opportunity here with, again, relying on Ultra's blockchain technology. No transaction fees changes the whole DeFi game completely. And also we wanted to do something more creative, more user-centric, and more geared towards the game industry and game ecosystem. And so our partner has done amazing work at capturing the needs of users, and capturing the needs of game developers, and then packaging it in something super sexy. I saw their marketing material last week, and it's going to be very cool, very unique. So yeah, it's going really well. I hope that they will be ready for an announcement soon. Considering the state of affairs with their marketing material, I hope that we're going to be able to announce it soon. But it's going really well, and it's going to have all the functionality that you'd expect, plus more.
Amazing. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to share it with the community. Thanks a lot for your time today, guys. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Rami.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody. See you soon.
Thanks, Robbie. Thanks, everyone. Speak soon.